Yeah, welcome back to the Slider Lab. This is episode 3. Now, in my first video, my first slider video, it was an All-American video, and this is going to be a revision to that video. Now, things have changed since then. That was maybe 2 months ago, going on 3 months ago, if I recall. But what's changed is I played the game a bit more, and I've gotten better, and I've learned the game a lot more. So this slider set is going to reflect that growth or that learning process. So let's get right into it. For the human and CPU, it's going to be exactly the same. Now, keep in mind, you don't need me to remind you guys, we're all different. We all have different skill levels. So if anything is too easy or too hard, make the proper adjustments. You guys, if you watch my videos, you already know I've explained what all these sliders do. So adjust accordingly. Let's go ahead and get into it. Human QB accuracy is going to be at 35. Same thing for the CPU. Pass block at 99. Same for the CPU. Wide receiver catching. We've maxed that out for a couple of reasons. Why? Number one, the receivers in this game are trash in general. They just don't hold on to the ball well enough. And even when you see this slider maxed out, you're still going to see a lot of drops in some games. So we're going to max this slider out at 99. Running back ability. This is something you guys can play with. I'm running lower than I usually do at this point, only because I want to see more of a fatigue effect in my games. But 99 still works well. As a matter of fact, if fatigue scaled differently in this game, I would prefer 99 running back ability. But since raising the slider also raises each player's fatigue level, it really messes up fatigue, and you'll never see players being substituted. I mean, you'll never even see players get tired with that slider setting at running back ability. So at this point, I'm running at in between 40 and like 20, depending on how I feel. That's where we're at with that. Same with the CPU. Run blocking, same with pass blocking. We want our guys playing at the maximum level they can play at. We want them blocking, not necessarily pancaking and destroying people. We want them getting to their spots as soon as possible. We want them playing smarter. You see what I'm saying? When that defensive line stunts, I want that guard to have the best chance he has to get to that defensive end before he gets to the quarterback. And the same goes for the CPU. All right, let's go ahead and get into defense. 99 CPU awareness 99 CPU awareness. And the reason why we're doing that is, as I said before, we've gotten better. The game is a little bit easier for us because we've been playing it a bit longer. Same thing for the human. If the game's too easy for you, just knock that down. That doesn't need to be at 99. If defense is easy for you, knock that down to your liking. In between, you can go all the way down to 0. I've done that before and had some competitive games. But if you want the defense playing at their best, max that out to 99. Knockdowns. Now this is big right here. One thing I hate seeing in this game is seeing a wide receiver have 2 steps on a defender, and a ball is clearly about to be caught by him. It's literally about to fall right in his hands. The defender is beat, only to all of a sudden see that defender jump straight in the air about 15 feet with one arm and knock the ball down. That doesn't happen in real football, and I hate seeing it in my game, and I hate watching playthroughs and seeing either the CPU or the human do it. The way you combat that, if you want to see less of that, lower your knockdown slider. Now you might be asking, why not just lower it to 0? I'm about to get into that right now. Interception slider, traditionally we keep that at 0 and nothing changes here. But I have a theory that I can't prove. I'm still testing around with it. I believe anytime the interception slider and a knockdown slider are equal, this slider, the interception slider, is going to take precedence over the knockdown slider. That's not what we want. We want the knockdown slider to take precedence over the interception slider. So just keep that at 5% and leave your interceptions at 0. Don't worry, you're still going to catch picks, whether that's at 99 or 0. But we want the main outcome to be a knockdown rather than an interception. If not, you're going to start seeing 4 or 5 picks a game, which that's not what we want to see. We want to try to keep the stats as realistic as possible. Now, you're going to have games when you catch 4 picks or you throw 4 picks, but sometimes you're going to have games where you don't throw any or you don't pick any. So keep your knockdowns at 5. If you don't want to see linebackers and safeties and defensive backs making a bunch of crazy bat downs that they shouldn't make, and keep your interceptions at 0. That also justifies our offensive QB accuracy having it set at 35 because we have our knockdown so low. All right, that's going to balance everything out. And keeping our QB accuracy at 35 gives us a chance to see the great quarterbacks shine and the poor quarterbacks play as they should play. That's going to put you in a situation to where if you lose your starter and your backup straight trash, you're going to feel it offensively. And that's what we're trying to recreate. I do enjoy QB accuracy, busted up all the way in here for the CPU. But the problem is, what this slider does, I'm going to tell you what the slider does right now. Here's what the QB accuracy slider does, particularly for the CPU. This makes it much easier to throw on a run, which is good. But it also makes poor quarterbacks play like decent quarterbacks, and that's not good. All right, so yeah, kind of bounce back to the QB accuracy slider, but I wanted to show you guys how it correlates with the knockdowns and interceptions. Break block, we're doing something a little bit different here. Instead of having this low between 0 and 20, we're maxing it out. We want the defensive line on equal standing with the offensive line. Now, what you're going to see in this situation is the line interaction, in my opinion, is much better than having this break block at 0 or even 20%. When a break block is too low, offensive linemen tend to bully the D-line. You see a lot more pancakes, you see too many knockdowns, and that's not what we're looking for. We're trying to see pockets form, and we're trying to see even matchups. And we're also trying to see if you have that star right tackle that's got like 98 strength and he's a beast and he's an All-American. We want to see him dominate that defensive end, but we want to see it done in a fair way. And also, if you have a strong All-American defensive end, he's a beast, he's a stud, and he's going against a freshman left tackle who shouldn't even be in the game, but he's in the game because the one guy got suspended, the other guy got hurt. You want to see that guy get dominated. You want to see a situation where you have to leave a running back in the backfield to help block. And the way you do that is make sure the break block is maxed out. Now keep in mind, we've been playing the game for a while, right? The jump to snap doesn't bother us anymore. We embrace that now. We drink that like water. We love that now, right? So max out your break block. Max that out. That's going to give you nice line interaction, and it's going to give you situations where the defensive line is going to win sometimes and the offensive line is going to win sometimes. It's going to be fair and square. Tackling, keep that even with your running back ability. Now, if you're rocking my usual 99 running back ability, it's okay to lower your tackling a bit. It's okay to keep those hard hits down, because if you're rocking 99 tackling, even if you have 99 run back ability, you're going to see a lot of hard hits and a lot of fumbles. I don't have a problem with the hard hits, but I do have a problem with the excessive fumbles. So if you're doing what I'm doing, if you're running more of a game fatigue or player fatigue strategy with the lower running back ability, make sure your tackling slider is equal, because you don't want an excessive amount of broken tackles. All right. So that's it, guys. That's it. That's the CPU defense. That's the human defense. That's the human offense. And that's the CPU offense. Now, keep in mind, for my guys, my tweeners, I want you to pay attention. This is for my tweeners. I'm doing this for you guys. The game, All-American's too easy for you, right? But Heisman's too hard. This is what you're going to do. You're going to do something like this. You're going to bust this up for the CPU between like 60 and 75. And you're also going to do this on offense. you're going to do this right here. You're going to knock this down all the way to 0, pass block and run block. And for the CPU, you're going to take their break block all the way down. Now, what you're going to see in this situation is the CPU is going to be just fine because they have their break block as maxed out, even though your break block is maxed out. They're still going to be just fine. But what I found when I lower pass blocking and run blocking all the way down, even with the break block set to all the way down, the defensive line has a big advantage. And the reason why is because they get off their blocks so quick. I mean, lightning fast. You're not going to have much time to throw the ball, and you're not going to have much time to hit a hole. You're going to have to hit that hole and move, because with having no pass block, even with their break block at 0, you're going to have a big challenge with that. So that's for my tweeners, my guys where the game's too easy. All-American's too easy, but Heisman's too hard. That's your revision. So here's how your revision is going to look. You're going to rock this for the human, for my tweeners, and for the CPU. That's how y'all rocking it, just like that. For the human, even for my tweeners, you can lower that down to 0 if you want, or lower it to 50. And for the CPU, that's how that's going to look. That's how that's going to look. Now, you might think all things are equal, saying that this is at 0, and this is at 0, and this is at 99, and this is at 99. But no, all things aren't equal. The maxed out 99 run blocking and pass blocking versus the maxed out 99 break block is a lot more even than your pass blocking 0 and your break block at 0. In this situation, when it's zeroed out, the defense has a big advantage. It's not a huge advantage, but it is a big advantage. Everything happens quicker. You're going to see a lot more swim moves. You're going to see a lot more rips. You're going to see a lot more spin moves coming off offensive linemen. The O-line will not hold on to their blocks long at all. As a matter of fact, when the defensive line stunts, they're going to have even more trouble getting over to those blocks. So that's for my tweeners. The game's too easy for you. Bust that all the way down for yourself, all the way down to 0. For my regular folks like me, this is what we rocking. Bust that all the way up to 99. And on defense, the CPU's break block goes up to 99. All right. My special teams doesn't change. Actually, I've actually changed something due to home field advantage that I'm now using. I've lowered the field goal length down to 45 because of the in-game boosts and negatives that the players get. So I've lowered that to 45, but everything else stayed the same. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me for episode 3 of the Slider Lab. I really appreciate the support so far. I enjoy reading comments from subscribers and supporters. You know, just thanking me for the things that I do and the time that I take to make these videos. It means a lot to me. It really does. I really love reading somebody saying they gave up on a game, or they're sick of Madden and they're sick of the direction that football games and games in general are going in. And my work has helped them actually enjoy the game and fire up their PS2s, or maybe even sent them in a direction towards the emulator, whatever that is. That makes me feel good. It makes it feel worth it to do these videos. But with that said, I need to be honest with you guys. I want to grow the channel. I want to continue to get better. There's some things I need to do to get better, and I think I'm doing that, and I'm being very patient, but also want to diversify a bit. I don't want to do this and find myself two years down the line and not see a lot of growth. I'm not view hungry, I'm not like hungry, but at the same time, we all want a good investment or return on our investment for the time that we spend doing anything in this life. So with that said, I want to try to feature some different games. They're going to be sports games for the time being. I have a lot that I have in mind. There's a PC game that I want to feature here. It's I want to surprise you. I don't want to tell you what kind of sports game it is, but all I can tell you that it's on a PC. It's actually not just on a PC platform. It's on all the platforms. You guys may have heard of it, maybe you haven't. But when I tell you this game is so freaking fun and 100% customizable, it's an incredible game. I've been playing this game since the first iteration of it. This is now the third game of that particular franchise or that particular series, and I thoroughly enjoy it, and I really want to feature it on this channel. I had the intention of doing that last year, but I didn't follow through with making the videos, but I'm going to do that now. Don't worry, NCAA Football 09 is still going to be featured, but I want to do some different things as well. There's a lot of things I'm passionate about in the sports world. I'm a huge, you know what? Let me hit y'all with something right quick. Sit down right quick. Football is not even my favorite sport. My favorite sport is Formula One racing. And the last game they made, F1 2020, was actually the best game in the series so far. So I might even feature that game at some point. You know, I just want you guys to understand that I enjoy doing these NCAA 09 videos, but at the same time, I'm passionate about other games as well. As a matter of fact, I was just telling Al through text message that I've neglected a lot of my PC games dealing with doing the NCAA 09 content, and I want to continue to do that. But I also want to share some other games that I'm interested in, and hopefully you guys will be able to accept that. If not, I understand, but I'm gonna rock with it anyway because I want to try to do some different things as well. So guys, thanks for the support. More content is coming. The next Dynasty video should be uploaded tomorrow sometime, and I hope to have that other game uploaded tomorrow as well before I go back to work on Christmas. Alright guys, thanks so much for the support. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. If it's something I missed in the video, hit me up. I will answer as soon as possible. Peace. Thanks for the support. I appreciate y'all. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. See y'all later.